Hey guys, hey, welcome to the room. My name is Raquel May David. My co-host is David Sanchez, and our wonderful, undefeated moderator is JM. He a thug, y'all. Y'all don't know about him. He in the streets. He ain't in no streets. He's in golfing. But that's okay. We are here to help you go over the world's most advanced AI software for credit repair organizations and individuals looking to become a beast in these credit streets and want to leverage this platform. So I am so glad that you guys are here with me today. I definitely like to start out with who's in the room that already has the platform and the software so that we can gauge kind of like where everyone is. So if you guys are new, okay, if you're new to our wonderful group today, please go ahead and drop any emoji at all, any emoji. If you already have the Dispute Panda software, please drop a panda in the chat. Hey, AAA Financial. Hey, Christian, welcome back. iPhone, I'm not quite sure who you are, but welcome, iPhone. Welcome. We normally get started promptly at 8:05. So thank you for those of you that came at the 8 o'clock hour. Hey, Elizabeth. Welcome. Okay, so you're new and you have the platform. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you doing this for you or as a business?
I'm trying to do it for me at first, but the way that it does work, I do like the way the software works. So it's like it's very seamless and it's very easy going.
Yep.
Far that I've actually worked with it, so I'm looking forward to maybe. It's just like a maybe. Go ahead and try to see if I can use it for business. Just because I'm not sure if I want to route into the credit cleaning business.
Right.
However, if I have a choice, absolutely, I'll go ahead and I'll choose it. Yeah.
I love that because you could be a beast in other people's credit streets. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
My pleasure. So welcome. I am your host. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into some things that just in case if you're not already in it, you have the ability to kind of know where you should be. So in the chat, David dropped the link to our community. So a lot of people have Facebook pages and different things like that. We want to make sure that we're owning and controlling the material. So i.e. it doesn't go down, okay, or you can't just kick out the group and throw it away. So our community, is off-site, and we do have a Dispute Panda standard and a Dispute Panda Pro group. So either one of those, you guys can sign up. It is a free community. You get to ask all of the questions. I like to be transparent. I am not on 24 hours a day, but our customer support is. As you can see, our wonderful mod JM has 421 comments. I think I got 3, y'all. Oh, I'm getting up there. I got 33. But if you have questions, concerns, you're kind of trying to figure out where things go, and you want to have some support between the Dispute Panda support team, Dominique or JM, you will get your questions answered. If I am in the room, y'all, I will answer y'all. Okay, I'd answer somebody today. But I want you guys to be able to get into this space. And that way, if you have questions, someone else may have alerted something. So like if the software is being updated, or if you have a question like this, what to do after a CRA responds to a CFPB complaint. That's something that if you know the answer to, or if someone else answers, you get the ability to see when it gets to be your turn. Okay. So I want you to not feel left out or stranded through the process as you guys are getting these sauces and as you are building out your portfolio, whether it's for yourself or Miss Elizabeth's soon-to-be business. Welcome to the room, Miss Lisa. How are you? Okay. So does anyone, before we get started, does anyone have any general questions before we go ahead and dive on it? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay. So we are going to get started. All right, guys. So let's jump over to Dispute Panda. I like to start from the beginning and talk about the benefits of the platform. Just to kind of walk you through with what today looks like is we're going to go over the pricing point. We are going to go over the features within the standard Dispute Panda and highlight some features in the Pro so you kind of know what the differences are that you have the ability to gain access to. We are also going to go over adding a client in and completing the first round of disputes. So while we go through, we will go ahead and have segments where we can break off and have questions, but I want you guys to kind of know where we're going to start and what the end result looks like. So if you are by your computer, you have the ability to go ahead and actually do your first round of letters if you have not done so, and ask any questions about the dispute flow or how you would like to pivot from there. All right. So let's get on down and get started. So the Dispute Panda software is 100% pay as you go. Credit-based system that is free to sign up. What I like to explain is the flow that we're going to be using today, and the example is going to show you how you can go ahead and dispute the rounds without paying that $17 per attack per month, right? So what is going on is I'm going to take you through on how the software can be 100% free for you as a consumer, or if you're a credit organization, how you can make it where you also do not have to pay for the monthly attack rounds, okay? So hold on, let me finish with the pricing. So the free plan comes with a CRM, which is a platform for you to house your clients' information or your information in your family, their identification, and you can also see the changes that have gone on from month to month with the credit reports that you update into the software. The pro option is $14. I'm sorry, it's $1 for 14 days, and then it's $197 thereafter. With you having the platform, you are able to go ahead and leverage a client safe portal. It also gives you the ability to attack if you are using the Credit Dyno, which is the credit monitoring software I'm going to be using today. With Credit Dyno, not only will you be able to, with the Pro, send out the standard letters to the 3 bureaus, you will also be able to generate creditor letters to the actual account holders themselves to make sure that everything is being investigated more aggressively and more intense with that particular program. The Pro gives you a host of features, and I will take you through once we get into the platform for you to see how the integration works, what kind of special effects you have. And I'm actually going to show you guys some samples because I had some clients today that I had to pull some numbers. So I like to go ahead and do show and tell as much as possible. You can also pay for the Pro for the whole year. That actually gives you a savings of 2 months for free. So I definitely think that's a great offer and opportunity for you to have. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why would I get this software when there's so many other softwares out there? Well, the number one thing about about Dispute Panda and the Credit Dyno software is this. When you come into the platform, you are gifted a working flow that has yielded results that has been tested and proven. So when you come into the platform, not only are we giving you a tutorial on how to use the platform, right? Whether you're using Credit Dyno as the credit monitoring software, or Identity IQ, or MyScore IQ, or Smart Credit, we show you how to leverage the platform, but we also give you a guide on what you should do first, second, third, and even 12th, because we have a 12-month calendar flow of how you are going to dispute your client's profile. So when you come in and you click this free download, it will take you to this actual site where you have the ability to actually see how should I dispute my file, my client's file, my sister's file, my cousin's file, right at your fingertips. So a lot of times people are getting software, but they're not really sure on where to start, how to start disputing, what letter should they select. Well, Dispute Panda said, we're not going to be like everyone else. We're going to give you a working, tested, proven flow, not just for the credit bureaus, but also for the secondary agencies as well. And every 35 days, if you are using the credit dyno as your monitoring service, you get a free round of attack for your clients, because we want you to make sure that you are doing everything that you need to do as aggressively as possible while you are working your profile. Okay. So our training is not just on how to use the platform. We give you a proven working flow and a strategy on how you can be a beast for yourself, your family, your friends, and as a business in these credit streets if you're starting up from scratch. Okay. Also, our customer service is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can reach them at info@disputepanda.com, or you can click on the contact tab, which is also located in the platform, and I will show you that as well. And if you have a client-specific question, you can put the client-specific question there and have them go ahead and review, support, answer any questions that you have in real time. Okay, hang on a second. I want to make sure. Okay. One of the things that I always drop whenever I'm on the live here is I always talk about the abilities for us to seriously make sure that we're making impact when we're speaking to our clients, when we're speaking to each other, just kind of making sure that we have everything that we need. And one of the things that I think we miss is that there is an opportunity for you to go ahead and create a video. I always send a video to my clients monthly. The video has a link to it, and I use the program called Loom. I'm going to drop it in the chat. The Loom software, sorry guys, the Loom software allows you to take a video of what errors you are seeing or issues you're seeing, and you're able to go ahead and copy that link and place it right here so you can actually talk through. They can see what's going on in the platform and say, hey, I'm having a problem importing, and then they can tell you exactly where the errors are so that you're not feeling overwhelmed, excuse me, throughout the process, right? So if you have a client specific need and you're in the system and you're like, hey, I'm clicking on these buttons and they're not working, you can actually take a video and send it so that customer service can see it. But also you get alerted when customer service watches it. So I love that. And our customer service team is hands down the best. Okay. So I wanted to go ahead and give you that information there. Let me see. Let me minimize some of my screens here. Cool. All right. So now we're going to jump into the platform itself, and we're going to go over registering for this free AI powered. When I say I work my clients, and just to generate the letter literally takes me less than 5 minutes for me to generate the letters once I've gone through the audit of the profile, right? It is seamless. And the system can also mail the letters out for you. I like to be honest, I don't normally use the mail every single month, the mail within the software. However, if I am traveling, if I'm on vacation and I brought my laptop, because I do that, and that's my business, I do that all the time. I will go ahead and generate some disputes, and then I will have the system mail it out for me so I can stay within my 45-day window of attack for my clients, right? I want to make sure that my clients are getting what they need. And if I'm not able to mail it because I'm visiting family in Jamaica, I still want to make sure that my clients are getting handled well and safely, right? So I do utilize a system to mail the documents out for me when I'm traveling. Now, when you're signing up for the platform itself, one of the things that I like to point out is that you want to be very, very careful to, if you're going to be using the software for yourself as an individual, you have to have 2 separate emails. So there's one email address for the owner of the account, and that email address is what you are going to use to log into the software Oh, hey, Zoom user. You said that you were having a problem joining Dispute Panda for months. Let me go ahead and ask you to unmute. What do you mean by you're having a problem? Are you with me?
Yes. Every time I try to sign up, it just won't let me go any further.
Okay. So have you checked your, okay, so I'm going to sign up now on the screen while you're watching. Let me know if you have completed the steps that I have, and then if not, we can go from there. Does that make sense? And I'm
Yes.
going to drop the sign up in the chat as well, so you can utilize it. That sounds
All right.
great. So that way we can see where the gap is, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so when you're creating the platform, if you are doing this as a user for yourself, as I stated, you have to have two different email addresses. One is for the owner of the account, the other is for the user of the account. So with that being said, I think I did rock with you.
Yeah, this is the page I can't get past.
Okay, so we're gonna do this together and see what happens. Are you by your computer right now?
Yes.
Awesome sauce. Okay, so let's do it together. All right, so once you have logged in all the information, I do normally select I always select the terms and agreements policy, but I also normally select the email and special offers because I like things. I like free things, I like discounts, I like all of that. Okay. So personally, I sign up for it. It is completely up to you if you choose not to. And then once I've clicked those two boxes, I'm going to select sign up, and it will take me to the next page where I can go ahead and scroll the agreement. So Mr. Zoom, are you still okay? Are you able to see the screen that I'm on now? And let me ask the question, what platform are you using? Are you using Chrome, Safari? Are you doing it on an iPhone or something of that nature? Okay, looks like we lost Mr. Zoom. So just for the record, guys, if you are using a phone, it is not going to be compatible. You have to use a laptop in order for it to work, because right now we are not compatible to mobile services. So I don't want to not manage expectations as we're going through. All right. So we're going to hit these terms and agreements that you see here is basically telling you what you can expect from Dispute Panda, what Dispute Panda expects from you, so that you are aware of how the platform works for you in real time. Okay. With that being said, once you get here, this is the dashboard. The dashboard is going to have this black bar up ahead. It is requiring you to go ahead and go to your email and verify, but I do want to advise that you do not have to do that right now, because I'm going to keep going through so everyone can kind of see how the platform works. Okay. Hey, Miss Clay. Welcome, Mr. Williams. So excited. Okay. So the main dashboard, I'm going to go over what we see here, and then we're going to go over the left panels. If you have any questions, you can definitely raise your hand or drop an emoji. But once I'm done with this, we'll open the floor for full Q&A on anything that we've just discussed on the platform. All right. When you get here, you have the rounds. Then you have any missing documents. So any clients that are missing any documentation, you'll be able to see it there. If you have any clients with upcoming birthdays, you will see this information here under the Pro feature, right? If you want to upgrade to the Dispute Panda Pro, you can select it here. Why would you want to do the Pro? So the Pro gives you the ability for you to do creditor letters. It gives you payment forms. It gives you a client portal that's secure. It gives you Zapier integration. So if you guys have an email sequence, or let's say you are a realtor or an auto dealer, and you already have a client base that maybe have gotten declined, you can send them curated emails by using your Zapier integration in whatever email sequence you have. It gives you one-click imports when it comes to Credit Dyno and some shareable reports. And I'll be showing you guys that as we move along so you can see it in real time. One of the other things that I think is important is for you to do always have monetizing in the forefront, right? So one of the things that I have here is I definitely have my affiliate link for Credit Dyno. Credit Dyno is the credit monitoring software that the Dispute Panda collects the data points from to make your letters more aggressive and more, when I say more aggressive, I should say more laser focused, so that you can make sure that you're collecting all of the information necessary for us to dispute as accurately and concise as possible. If you're using Identity IQ or any of the other credit monitoring softwares, you will not be able to generate the creditor letters. It only works with the Pro and Credit Dyno. And I'll show you what that looks like once we're done so you can see how that flow works. But if you are new and you have not done so as of yet, I would recommend that not only do you select this as an affiliate link and start making posts, you can get paid $8 for each person that signs up for Credit Dyno. And most people keep their credit monitoring on for a minimum of 24 months. So that means you can be getting drip money, as I like to call it, while you're sitting here building your business, building your brand, and then maneuvering from there, right? So this is a great way that you can get affiliate monies from people who you make posts about, and you might say, hey, I just started working on my credit. Who's on this journey with me? If not, go ahead and click this link for you to pull your credit report for you to find out your numbers. They click it, they sign up, you get $8. There are also different tiers. You can get up to $22 depending on which package you choose with Credit Dyno. But I did want to go ahead and make you guys aware of this option. Okay. So if you are looking to get to your client, you can either click the search bar up top. You do have to enter 3 characters, or you have to go ahead and click on the client link on the side. There are going to be options for you to see your active clients, your inactive client, and if you're coming from a different software, you can literally import the client's information in through a CSV file. If you are having issues, do not fret. You can go ahead and send your CSV file to the contact us at info@disputepanda.com, and they will help you import your client if you're having an issue. Okay, if you want to add a new client, you'll click on the new client option, and I will walk us through once we get to the loading the client part after I go through all the settings. Okay. You're able to see your client's name, what the status is, are documents missing, are documents needed, is it time for you to pull the next round? You know, you get to see all those pieces of information. Also the letters tab allows you, oh guys, I'm sorry, I didn't have my did not disturb on. The letter tab allows you to clearly see what letters have gone out for which client and what days they went out. If you allow the system to go ahead and send it out for you, you do have to follow their protocols. So letters only go out Monday through Friday on the system. If it wanted to go out the same day, it's 12 p.m. PST time. Otherwise, it goes out the following day. The only letters that are trackable are the ones that are certified mail. And of course, certified mail is a little bit more. You don't have to go to USPS. You can literally come back into the platform once the certification has been, completed, and you'll be able to click that link and it will take you to USPS to check the status of the specific letters. But you are able to go ahead and see everything literally right here. This icon, once it's attached to a file, once you click it, it will open the client's file for you to see what's going on and dip and do within the platform. iPhone, I'm not quite sure which one you are, my darling, because there are 2 iPhones in here. I believe, well, 3 of us now. You can definitely come off of mute and ask your questions. What questions do you have? I don't know which iPhone. I'm sorry, or else I would have asked. iPhone, going once, going twice. Hey, iPhone. Y'all find out I sing music all day long. My apologies. We're gonna get into it. Whenever you're ready to ask the question, iPhone, you can come off of mute and I'll be happy to answer, or you can drop the question in the chat. And once I
Oh,
go,
thank you. Thank you
oh,
so much.
what question do you have, my love?
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, so I believe it's related to the panda. So I sent out the paralyzing attack or whatever, and then I received a corresponding letter from the credit bureau stating that, and this is I hear like a letter that's getting a little bit more generic, but just that we're suspicious that this isn't you, and since
Right.
we think it's not you, we're not going to authorize it. Now, the interesting part about that is that it was notarized. Like I spent the extra almost $100 to
Weren't you here? You
notarize.
were here last week, right?
Yes, you're so
Yes, and you
sweet.
said
We
you sent the
talked about
letter.
that.
Yes,
You
so you
talked
just
about that. You're like, you don't want to give them a hard time and everything. And I'm like, yep, well, I notarized it.
Yep.
Even though I notarized it, they're still so twisted that they still had the audacity to say that. It's like, how
Yeah.
can someone who's not who they say they are get a letter notarized?
Right.
So I wanted to know what your recommendation, how would I retaliate utilizing the Dispute Panda? Because I
You're going
corresponded
to
with
go
another.
back into the letters. You're going to go to the static letters and you're going to hit stall letters. If you have the pro, you're going to reinsert the credit bureau's letter that they sent back to you stating that it was stalled. You're going to resend that letter. If you do not have pro, you just reprint it off. So if TransUnion was the one who sent it to you, you're going to reprint your TransUnion profile and your TransUnion letters, the paralyzed attack letters, and then you're going to basically put the stall letter as a cover letter for
Okay,
you.
you're incredible. Thank you so much. And then for all other credit information to contact you privately, because I was told by another credit repair agency that to immediately just file a report with the CPSP, whatever that is, like to
That
just
is incorrect.
immediately skip
That's
them. And I would love to know why, but you can't tell me on this platform, right?
Well, first of all, you're not going to file anything because a lot of times that is a stall tactic. That is a stall tactic that the credit bureau uses. And if it's your first letter, I would not recommend that you run that play personally. I would go ahead and do the stall letter because that's why it was created in verbiage. Now, since we're having this conversation, guys that are here, I am having a masterclass on the 3rd at 1 p.m. I will drop the link for the masterclass. We are going to be covering topics such as this, and we're going to dive into like the most latest flows that are available. I will go ahead and drop the link for the form for you guys to register for the program, but we're going to go over not just what's in Dispute Panda, but we're going to dissect, create a flow, and you're going to leave with a working flow and understanding, and we're going to give away a host of like bonus material so that you can have a better understanding of how to literally not just respond to those letters, but how to respond when you're dealing with charge off, bankruptcies, repos outside of just the letters, what additional activities you can do. So I will drop the link to that in the chat.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And if you don't mind me asking, why would you not recommend doing the CBC complaint? Like, why would you recommend
because
recommend?
it was the first event. So why would I do that now? That's the first
You want to
level
only
sent out.
you want to only use it as like your safety resort and not exhaust them, is what you're saying.
Correct. And depending on how aggressive you're actually working, it may not be beneficial for what you're trying to do. Number one, if that's your first letter that you're going out, what is your complaint?
It was.
What, you know what I'm saying? What is
Literally?
your, yeah,
Oh,
like
what did I complain? The complaint was
no, not what you're complaining about, but what I mean is it's the first letter that you sent out. You got to
right.
stall. The stalls are a tactic that the credit bureau uses all the time. You making that complaint after one letter is not enough. You want to have, and this is just my personal recommendation.
Like a paper trail.
Boom. I'm trying, I don't want to be funny, but like the best comparable that I can leverage is, you know, when you are going through a situation or you want to file a restraining order, 95% of the time, even if the person was mean to you that one time and it was very egregious, it won't happen again. They won't grant the restraining order until something else happens. Like, you have to show that there has been misconduct or this level of aggression. It's the same thing that you're doing when you're sending these letters off, is you want to make sure that you have the documentation. You want to make sure that you can say, listen, I tried them. And that's why we actually went ahead and took it a step further to where you have creditor letters when you come to the pro, because there were people stating that when they called to the credit bureau was saying, the creditors were telling the credit bureau, we never got those letters, no one ever said anything to us. And that's because the credit bureaus sometimes only check the information internally. They're not actually reaching out to the vendors and asking them for help, right? So with the pro letters, you are now getting letters to not just the credit bureau, but to the creditors themselves that they have an obligation to reply back to, right? So we want to make sure it's meaty, but document. Just like you can't say a guy is a bad guy. Well, no, we could say everybody a bad person at the first time.
Okay, no, I understand completely. Thank you so much. I think that's my only question. Unfortunately, I already did it, but I wish I would have heeded to that advice and that wisdom prior. But essentially, the reason why I did it was because I'm saying they're claiming that they can't authorize me, but it was notarized. So it's a false claim. It's just, that was my point. And I sent verification, I sent proof of notary. So I just feel like that's not valid. That you can't just, basically it was like fail to look into an existing problem. They said that they weren't even going to investigate it, is essentially what the letter said.
And that's a
They would
standard.
not.
So I don't want to, not to cut you off, but I don't want you to lose focus that is a standard stall letter. And remember when you and I spoke last week, you were saying that the address also may have looked a little suspicious, like it was a little grainy. So I'm not telling the thing that you already did, that's fine. What I am going to tell you to do though is to still go ahead and generate the stuff. No, right now, today, tomorrow, when you get home, print out the stall letter, resend the original letters with that stall letter together.
Okay, okay, what if I threw away the stall letter already? That sucks, yeah.
What you can regenerate
Oh, I have
the stall
it.
letters are free.
I actually have it. I have it right here. That's wild. I just picked it up. No, I still have it.
Yeah,
So
the
just
stall
send
letters
it.
are free. So as long as
Okay,
you have money
perfect.
in your bank, you're
I
fine.
do. I do. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Great question. Great question.
Thank you.
All right. So the letters of the next thing that we were going off, sorry guys, the next thing that we were going on were inboxes. So the inbox is a feature that's a part of the Safe Client Portal. It gives you access to the email correspondence for you to go ahead and speak securely with your clients via email. The reports tab, I love the reports tab. I'm about to show you all my reports tabs today. So I had a client who wanted to leave. I like to tell the truth about it. They are really busy and they're like, listen, I don't have a lot of time. They were really like, I don't think I could do this. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I understand. And again, I understand that life's, and sometimes people have to go, right? And when they have to go, you just have to give them encouragement, give them the tools and the sauce that they need. And I sent them this information. They have been with me 45, no, second round, about almost 90 days now. In totality, we have raised their credit score over 300 points across the board, okay, since they've started with our program. So I went and I sent this information to them. I gave them, of course, like my email sequence gives them different information on what they can now apply for because of what they may need in their portfolio. So as they go and grow, I'm giving them different tips as to how they'll be able to holistically hit their credit score goals and what their gaps are when you're looking at the full report, right? So I was able to send this information to them. And this is one of the pro features that you get. Now, this is on the client's profile side, but I was able to go ahead and pull my overall deletion rate. And then this is now going to be a post that's going to run for me that shows what my score improvement points are, how many dollars I've been able to get deleted, and how many overall total deletions I've been able to secure. And this is now going to go on my social media as a hot button to be like, hey, I'm really in these streets getting, getting things done. So if you are the first client, you will be able to cultivate these items for yourself to be able to show what your company has been able to delete, because points are great. Like, I have conversation about points. I talk about the body of the report, and you'll kind of see that once I load the client's profile in and get all their info in. But I like to make sure that they're seasoned. They know what's going on with their profile and in what areas they're missing their points, so we can help them get from a 0 to, the full secured increased numbers and the right profile that will get them approved for the funding that they need, right? The subscription tab is also a pro feature. It allows you to create payment plans, onboarding forms, different forms that allow the system to go ahead, and once it's filled out, the client can be put into your system, and then you can get started with the disputes for them. You also have the training tab and the contact us tab that I showed earlier that you're able to go ahead and dip and do in. And then on this tab, when you click on the balances, it takes you to your settings feature. Now, I like to show the settings feature all the time. The setting feature allows you to add like your own photo on the profile. It shows the email address that I signed up for to be the owner of the profile. So whenever I would want to log in as the owner to generate letters for me as the client, I'm going to use respectrock@gmail.com, right? And then I'm going to use the password that I signed up with. If you are doing this as yourself, the company name is going to be your business name. But if you choose to transition over, you're able to put your business name on there. You can put your company website, phone number, email address, privacy policy, address, and your contracts in there as well. How do I get client Dispute Panda? Bradley, you're saying, how do you get to be a client in Dispute Panda? Is that the question?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Oh, awesome. Great question. So once you have created a profile, you would then click on this client tab and add yourself in as a client.
Can you send me the link? I've got a new phone and I ain't been able to get on it.
So you won't be able to do it on your phone. You would have to do it on a laptop. Okay. But you would have to make sure that you're signed in on on Dispute Panda itself. And then once you're in, you would click on the client tab, and then you're able to go ahead and upload yourself into the system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure, my pleasure. And we'll drop the link for Dispute Panda sign up so you can have that as well, okay?
Okay, thank you.
It's my pleasure, darling. Okay, we're over here. All right, so that's the organization tab. If you want to go ahead and add someone as a user so that they can be a team member for you, i.e. my daughter does disputes for me. So she has her own username, her own password, and that way she cannot kick me out the system, change any information. That is going to be critical for me doing business. But she is a team member and she is able to go ahead and log in and do rounds for me for my clients. The affiliate link tab, if you have credit monitoring passwords for Credit Dino, Identity IQ, Smart Credit, My Score IQ, you can go ahead and put the links in here. Once you have the pro turned on, it will give your clients the option to all of the affiliate links you have, or you can turn off the ones you don't want them to use and just say the Credit Dino. And of course, I'm always going to leverage Credit Dino because it gives me the ability to dispute for free. So the disputing option, this is the address to the actual bureaus themselves. If that address changes, for some reason you get a letter back, and I've had a call before where the client said, well, I had applied, and when I had put my information in and I got the letters back from TransUnion, it was a different address. There are several addresses for the credit bureau. If you see that one is working more diligently or you're getting responses, you can come in here and change it from the 2000 address to the 1000 address. And that way, when your letters are printed, it will only say the 1000 address on there. And then if you need to change it again because you're not getting responses from there, you can go ahead and change it to the other address that you are getting responses from. So definitely pay attention to your letters when they come back from the credit bureau, so you know kind of like what's moving as quickly as you need. So when you get to the billing section, this full screen. All right, when you get to the billing section, you can add a payment method so that when you are looking to add monies onto the profile, you can have it auto saved. Please be aware that if you're doing this as a business, even if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 different clients, only your credit card or debit card information is on file and no one else's. Okay. You can purchase in bulk, where you can purchase a bulk of or flat rate fee amount of credits. Those credits can be used for your monthly attacks, which is normally $17, or they can be used for mailing, whatever you would like that preference to be. We also have a subscribe and save feature. It's $20 per month or $60 per month, whichever one you choose. You're able to go ahead and get 50% bonus on top of it. So that bonus ends up being $30 instead of 20. Even though you only paid for 20, you're going to get 30. And even though you only paid for 60, you'll get 90. All right. And it will be billed every single month, the same time on the card that you have saved in file. Okay. The invoice tab is for you to see all the statements and invoices. So if you have the Panda Pro, you'll be able to see when they billed you last month, when it's going to be billed again, all of your client invoices, and any statements. The activity tab is for you to see what attacks have been sent out. If you have told the mailing system to send it out, you'll be able to see that. And if you're using Credit Dino, you'll be able to see the attack credits that are on file for each client. That is available for you. Okay. The integration program, again, that's a pro feature where you can allow Zapier to do certain things. So you can say, if a client does this, then this is the next sequence that happens. And that way there's communication to other softwares that you may not have access here, such as your email sequence or your text message sequence. You can have it where when a round gets sent out and generated, that there's a prompt that sends a text message to your client. But that would be through the integration with a program called Zapier. And Zapier does have a free version, y'all. So just in case you guys were wondering, that is an option. Now, always talk about soft money or drip money, which is a great affiliate program. So the first affiliate program that we have is the credit monitoring with Credit Dino. The second affiliate program that we have is the Dispute Panda affiliate referral program. So if you refer someone under your code to Credit Dino, you'll actually get credits on your profile. It is not currently live, but it will be. So I tell everyone everywhere to make sure you sign up for it now so that once it goes live, you already have access to it. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So we have gone through all of the settings, all of the information. We are now going to load ourselves in as a client. So Bradley, since you are having an issue, I definitely want you to take a gander at what's going on so you can see the differences. So over here, we have my email address is respectrock@gmail.com. But now I'm going to add myself in as a client. Now you want to make sure that the information that you're adding into the software as a client is very accurate and it's in its appropriate box. I personally add junior, the third, the fourth, the fifth, if I'm dealing, because normally I deal with a full family. And with me dealing with that full family, I want to know who I'm working on when I'm in their platform. However, as you can see, it doesn't have a red asterisk next to it. So it's not something that you have to fill out. So if the person does not go by Raquel May Jr. or Raquel May the fourth, you can leave it off because remember, this is going to get printed on the letter. All right. So I want to make sure that it's kind of leveraged. But now I'm in the software and I'm like, okay, I need to put a different email address so that I can be a client within the software, right? If you try to put the same email address, the system will kick you out. And then you put the last four of the social, and then we're going to do the address. Now, if you have an apartment, a suite, anything like that, you're going to put it on the street address. Everything else is going to go into its appropriate box. And again, you want to make sure that you're taking your time to add the information in here, because all of the information you add here is going to generate on the letter for the client. If you have the pro, you would click invite client to client access. If you do not have the pro, you do not click this button because nothing will happen. All right. Absolutely, positively, Nathaniel. All right. So you're going to hit save and it will take you into the platform where you can upload the information. So I know that, oh, I don't know. iPhone already left, I think, or was it Zoom user? Zoom user left, so I do apologize. I wanted him to kind of see what's going on here. But welcome to the room, Anthony. Welcome to the room, Leslie. Hey, Brittany. I think I said hi to Mr. Williams already, but hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How's it going for you?
Good, good. This is the first one I'm actually attending, but I've been
Yeah.
on now for about 3 months. So I
Okay.
have a couple of questions. I guess we'll save them for the end if you have some time.
Yep, I will definitely open the floor for it. I'm gonna load the client in, and then once we load the client in, we're gonna go over some stuff. But if you have any questions on the screen that I'm at, please stop me so that it's, because I know sometimes people learn like by visual, some
Okay.
calisthenic, and I want to be able to help them all. Okay, I think I say hi to everybody. I said hi to Lisa, Walter, Tony. Hey, Tony, welcome. Okay. So one of the things that I want to show are the IDs that are needed. Now, I'm going to show it on the screen. David's going to drop it in the chat. Hold on, I just realized it won't let me share because I'm on full screen. Hold on. David's going to drop it in the chat. This is what you need to know. So when you are dealing with your client's profile or yourself, okay, there are required documents that fall under the proof of identification. There are required documents that fall under the proof of address. You want to make sure all of the information that you are sending over is concise. It is on point. If you guys are by your computer, do not sleep. In the chat, we have the actual document that you can save into your drive. So when you're working on your client's profile, guess what you have accessibility to do? You have accessibility to see what you need to ask them in real time, okay? So if they have a driver's license in Kentucky, but they just moved to Michigan, that is not their valid driver's license because you need the address to match all the information on the letters that you are sending out. So you are going to toss that driver's license out because they now live in Michigan and they're giving you a Tennessee ID, or they're giving you a Texas ID, or they're giving you a Kentucky ID. If that ID is not their current address, we are not using it. You're going to go to something else on the list. As you guys look at the screen, there's only 2 boxes that are required. This is optional, which means you cannot go to the next step until these 2 boxes are filled, which is the proof of identification and the proof of address, right? So if their ID does not work, toss the ID out. You can use their social security card, their paycheck stub, their W-2. There's a list of items that are proof of identification, right? Once you've used that document, you move over to the proof of address. Best practices, every 90 days, ask for a new utility bill, 60 to 90 days. I normally do it at the 60th day I ask, so that when I go to pull their report the 90 days, I can have an updated one in my inbox ready to be used. Why do we do that? It's for best practices, because as you guys may have heard, for the people that were on before, the credit bureau likes to stall. They like stagnation, okay? So because of that, you don't want to give them any reason for them to say that they're not going to review, and any out-of-date information can cause them to be questionable on the forms that you have. So just for best practices, you want to go ahead and make sure if you're using a gas bill, a cable bill, a water bill, anything with the residents, that you're getting outside of the lease, of course, that you're getting the updated information every 60 to 90 days, okay? Now, if you use a social security card as a proof of identification, you do not need to upload it again. Don't upload it, leave it alone. If you have not used a social security card because you have a valid ID, then you can go ahead and just leverage it in the other tab if your client has it available. Any questions on the ID process at all?
So the social security card is optional, or it should always be there as a third thing, the other box.
So I put the social security card on round 1 and round 3, round 6. And if the client is still with me at round 12, I do it at round 12. However,
Okay.
the social security card is not required if you have the ID and you have a proof of a bill.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if your client gives it, if they gift it to you, leave it in there, child. Go ahead and send it.
Okay.
Now I personally, when I print the documents, if I'm mailing it out, I'll block out the first sequence of letters and only leave the last 4. It's something that I personally do when I'm processing. All right. So one of the things about the software that y'all gonna hear me say, I love a bunch of stuff with this software, and I really do. Like, you know how Paula Deen loves butter and sugar? Yeah, I love this software. Like, she like butter and sugar. Hang on one second. JM or David, can you drop the link in the chat for, well, you know, let me go ahead and get it right now. Hold on one second. So if you're looking to sign up, you're just gonna sign up here, Bradley. And you can also rewatch the video on our YouTube. My pleasure. You can rewatch the video on our YouTube or in the community right over here. You can watch the Dispute Panda live, so you can have the replay. All right, so that you don't. But I do hope you have a safe night, and thanks for joining us. All right, Bradley said he got to go. He out. That's right, Bradley. Go ahead and have a good dinner, darling. So with the platform, if your client takes a picture, and I'm just going to speak from experience, I will have clients go ahead and literally take up this whole piece of paper for this little piece of ID. The point is for you to get all of the documents on 1 to no more than 2 sheets of paper. So the software here allows you to crop and save the information that's on file. So I'm going to show you kind of like when we're talking about a bill. So I'm going to drop the bill in here. All this information is not their business. This ain't your business. I don't need you to know if I have a past due on my little light bill, okay? That's none of your business. So you're going to crop it all the way down, and you're only going to reserve the date as confirmation. Not the monies, not the dollar figures, the date and the address. That's what you're wanting to get, so that when you print out the information, the letters for your clients to go out, everything is just what the credit bureau needs and no more, okay? You're gonna, if this was on a big sheet of paper, you would crop it to size, hit save, and now all of your stuff should look like this. It should look grainy, okay? If it does not look like this, if you have a little error message or something like that, take it out. You literally just click the X and you upload it again. And you're done, okay? This is how the software should look before you go and upload the information. Now, you know, I like to talk about all the perks and all of the good things that are there. Hold on one second for me. In the chat, it says, Raquel, I tried to see the pre-recorded videos and it wasn't working for me. It was redirecting me to Zoom, however, stating that I needed to wait for the host. So if you are in the community and you click on the box, it should take you to the video. you're saying when you do this, you're not able to see the video?
Yeah, Raquel. What was happening is that when I was actually going and trying to see if I can get into the video for like the pre-recording, it was redirecting me back to Zoom. However, it was telling me that it was waiting for the host to come on.
Interesting. Thanks for that update. So let me ask you a question. When you go to in the chat is the YouTube channel. Did you click on the link for the YouTube channel to see if that works?
No, I didn't. I didn't try that until you just mentioned it.
Okay, because the YouTube channel should be working. Because I be in the YouTubes. Okay, I be in the YouTubes now. So, so the YouTube channel should be working.
Okay, so I'll take a look at the YouTube, but I just want to make you guys aware that for some reason for me it just redirected me to Zoom, allowing me to I had to wait for the host.
For this today. Got it. Okay. I'm wondering if it's because it was tonight's call, maybe. But yes,
No.
you can, it could be that's why it was giving you that. I'm not quite sure.
I actually tried even previous ones, like the ones that you see on there for September. Because if you look at the tab under the tab.
Oh, I see it. It says open in Zoom. All right, JM, who's the best moderator in the world. He's seeing this in real time. We'll get it corrected so that it doesn't give you that error. However, Miss Clay be knowing. Go to our YouTube, honey. You get to see all my little hairs. Okay, you get to see all my little wigs.
Thank you, Raquel.
See all my stuff. But I appreciate that feedback, Miss Elizabeth. Since I'm here, I never look at the replay. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Make sure you come back now, okay? Don't you just be a one time. You better come on back, okay? That way we can have some questions. Okay. Sorry, I'm not right, y'all. I promise. Hold on. Okay. So now, another feature that I love about the Credit Dyno and the Dispute Panda integration is that once you come here, you do not have to log into another site to get anything for your client. So what I mean is right here on the screen, it says Credit Dyno one-click import. You legit come in here every 35 days. I'm a 45-day company, but every 35 days, and you are able to go ahead and click this button and get a free round of attack. You don't believe me? Hold on. Let me put in my dummy file information, and then I'm going to show you. Anyone that has any questions, please, you can definitely come off of mute, and it will be my pleasure to answer.
I had a situation with the uploading the IDs. I had them on there for a while, and I think like 3 months later, I went back in there, and a bunch of them were gone. The IDs, the bills, any of those files. So I'm not sure what happened, but I had to go back in there and re-upload all of them.
Sometimes I know that when we had what's the verbiage I'm looking for? An update that happened to the platform, that did happen before, and I have personally seen it happen. However, it should not be happening now. When's the last time you experienced that?
No, it was like last month, I think, that I did it. That was the only time I saw it.
Good. So okay, evolution. Grow and be growing, y'all. Grow and be growing. Hold on one second. Let me try and get this client's info. That was a great question. So yeah, that's why I like to share the screen so you guys can see it, because a lot of times, like I had this situation where I went in and it was just like a little box. It wasn't even deleted. It was legit like just a little box on the screen. And I was like, what's going on? And JM was like, girl, just go ahead and put the information in again. I said, oh, okay. I'll do that now. Hold on 1 second. Profile. All right. So I'm just grabbing a dummy login and I will be right there, guys. I'm going to close this. Minimize it. Okay. It's still thinking. I'm going to share the screen in 2 seconds. And we are going to minimize some of this. Okay, cool. Let me Share screen. All right. Everybody with me? We cooking with some chicken fat? Ready? Okay, Zoom user said, can you sign me up? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Let me know. You are amazing, JM. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is what your screen should look like. Once you have all of the identifications in that are required and optional, once you have the credit monitoring, the credit report in the software, then you will see that there's now a tab up here that says disputing. You're not able to go any further until, like, you can't pick any rounds of attack until you go to dispute flow. But I want to point out right here that you have a free round of attack that shows up. So one of the cool things, like I said earlier, is you do get a free round of attack every single time that you go through the software and you're able to work. There's like a nice pop-up box that comes up and it says you've earned a free round of attack, and it tells you you can earn one every 35 days. So if you're using Credit Dino, in essence, the platform is free, the letters are free. The only thing that you're paying for is stamps, ink, paper, envelopes, as my son would say, envelopes. Okay. So now we're going to move over to the disputing tab. We're going to make this larger. All right. And we're going to go through what you're seeing on the screen right now. So when the credit profile comes in, and I want to point out some stuff here, you have the client's name, and over here is the credit monitoring that the client is using. All right. Once you get to this point, the system is going to systemically pick any and everything that is hindering the client's profile, except for the inquiries. The inquiries, you as the processor have to go in and check it yourself. The pro tip that I would like to give to you is do not select any inquiries on this profile that is linked to an open and active account. Do not. You're going to, it's potential that you will stop your client from actually being able to have access to that open account. If you dispute it, that account can be closed, and the creditor, so like Discover, Chase, they will shut that sucker down. Shut it down. So you do not dispute any inquiries that are attached to an open and active profile, okay? You can search one by one, or you can do Command F if you're on the Mac, Control F if you're not on the Mac, and you can put in the actual name of the companies that you see here. Now, one thing that I want to say is if you guys see something like this, it says BRCLY, there's a possibility that when you put this information in the file, that you won't find it. Now, I've been doing it for a while, so I know this is a Barclays bank card. So I would say to skim the profile to see if you can make out those abbreviations just to be safe. I like to be safe than sorry, but I know that this particular client doesn't have a Barclays card, but this is an option. So you would go and make sure that when you're looking for the profile, as you are looking through everything, you're not overlooking, is the account open and active? If it is, you are not checking it, because anything that is checked will generate a letter to be printed and sent out. All right, guys? Am I making sense? Everybody with me? Say church. Y'all know I got no sense. All right, I ain't got no sense. Just work with me. So you're going to head and check the box. Now, again, because of the fact that the inquiries have to be, looked over, they are not right now systemically, they are not selected. The inquiry section is for hard inquiries that have been done to either approve or deny you for credit. If you do not have an existing account linked to this, I am 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% okay with you requesting to get that profile and that particular inquiry removed. If it's very close, like right now, this says February 2022, I'm gonna pull it because I know she ain't got no SANS card and I want it to be disputed through the process. Come on, Anthony. Anthony said church. Come on now.
Charge.
Let go. Let go. Look, y'all know I ain't got no sense. All right, so public records will show bankruptcies, judgments, child support. That's anything that's showing derogatory under that public censor. That means that they went to court, they got a judgment, and something has been declared. Okay. When that happens, the system will automatically generate and put a sequence out of letters specifically for these public records. There are more intensified ways that you can attack it, and I do cover that in the masterclass as well. And I dropped the link in the chat. But systemically, a letter will be generated, and I will also show you guys where you can get a letter to send to the bankruptcy court themselves directly in order to get support, okay? Once you get to this account, this is the part that I love. And I'm going to show you why I love it. Hang on one second. Let me see. Oh, so we're looking at this particular profile. It's a First Premier Bank card, but it shows closed. I want you to imagine this was open. Imagine just for a second. When you click this eye icon, it will take you into a breakdown of where the client is, what's going on with the profile, and how it can help them, right? In this particular case, we know that the account is closed. It has been written off. So how I would process this as a dispute is a little bit different because of the fact that this client has a charge off and it says it's been written off for profit and loss by the company, right? But let's say this account was open. You're able to go ahead and look at the profile and say, okay, it's with all three credit bureaus. Let's look at the payment history. So now we're going to have a conversation about your payment history. Your payment history is worth 35% of your FICO score, which equals 192.5 points. Okay. So if this person's only at 33%, guess what they're leaving on the table? They are leaving points on the table that can help them get to where they need to be. Understand your baseline credit score number is 300. Everything else that's been calculated to that is what's going to get you to the 850 or higher, right? So if your goal is to get to the 800, we have to dissect the 5 components that are being billed for the client. The most heaviest is the payment history. That is worth 192 points. If you are at 100% in your payment history across the board, you are maxing out at 192.5, period. So if you are not maxing out, you are not at 100%, that is the conversation I'm having with you in real time. Hunty, sweetheart, baby love, I need you to put your payments on auto pay. Let's take it even further. If this was an installment loan, I'm going to tell you to split up the payments. If this is a credit card, which it is, I'm going to tell you to pull your statement date and pay on the statement date. I'm going to educate you that your statement date is when the credit card company goes and runs and tattletale on you, right? But your due date is the latest possible day you can pay your bill without you being impacted with a fee. So I'm having this dialogue and I'm educating you on in real time what you need to do to bring your scores up. If you're looking to be in the 700 club, I'm having a conversation with you that your utilization needs to be at 15% of your overall available credit. That is 30% of your score, which equals 160 plus points. So if you will have a credit line of $700, but you're using 1,000, you're over your credit limit. So you're not getting any of those points in that utilization arena, which is 160 plus points. So now we're not just having a dialogue of me sending off letters, because I can send all the letters in the world. If you still maxing out on your credit card, sugar baby love, we're not going to make anything happen. We're not going to make it shake, right? And if the 2 heaviest components are over 400 points, you can get to the 600 and 700 club if you're managing yourself properly. Brittany, what question you have, my love?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, I don't really have a lot of I guess bad accounts, if I could say, I don't know. But a lot of my accounts is just because I paid them off and they're closed. So do I not need to mess with those? Or because I guess Yeah, so do I not need to mess with the accounts that like I paid good payments on? They just closed because I'm done with the payments.
So systemically, if you are not, so for instance, this particular account is not in the negative. It didn't have any past dues. It doesn't have anything. Everything is in good standings. This based on how the system is calculating her, right? Now we can see that back in 2017, she had an issue, but remember your late payments only affect you within a 24-month period. So let's say we're talking about an account that looks like this on yours, or it just said positive across the board, right? Let's just say everything said green. Systemically, just like with this, it wasn't selected to be disputed. So there's nothing for you to dispute. You follow what I'm saying? Because the system is registering that there is nothing on this account that is hindering your credit score right now. So if it's closed, to your point, and it was in a positive status, meaning no late payments, no collections, no nothing, you just paid it off, it was paid on time, and now the account is closed, then what would you be disputing?
The increase, or that's like a whole nother.
That's two totally different conversations that we're having.
Okay.
So this is specifically account based. So if you and I are having a dialogue about the account section, if there's nothing negative, then then the system is not selecting anything negative for you, right? If we are now at the inquiry status, remember my earlier statement is if it's not attached to an open account, you can dispute the inquiry.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? So each section is its own section that you have to deal with accordingly. So when we're on the inquiry section, yes, if it's not open, it's not active, it's not attached to anything, by all means, check the button so that that letter can be generated. When we get to the account section, however, we're not disputing anything because there's nothing to dispute.
Okay.
Make sense?
So basically, okay, you'll start with the account, send out the letters for all of that, then you'll go back to.
No, ma'am.
Or it's all into one. You just gotta.
You cannot get to the letter. Remember, we haven't even gotten to the letter section because we haven't told the system what letters it needs to generate.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're not jumping back and forth. You have to finish one section before you go to the next one.
The next one. Okay, got you.
Correct. So
and then,
go ahead.
I thought we could use up to 30 utilization. That's not good to use.
So what I'm going to tell you is that if you want to be in the 700 club, you want to use 15%. If you want to be in the 800 club, you want to use 7% of your overall available credit. So what that means is if you have 5 credit cards, you're using 15% of the 5 total amounts of your balances. So you're going to add all of your balances together. You're going to do what is 15% of those, not balances, sorry, of your credit limits. What's 15% of your credit limits? And that's what you should have when the statement is being reported. So I want to be clear. I use all my credit cards, y'all. All of them. I Swiss swipes. Okay. Don't let me outside. Okay. Because outside, my friend, I'm a buy. Why am I buy? Because I'm a consumer. I be consuming stuff. Okay. So if I go outside and I know my husband done paid this credit card, okay, I'm a swipe. Thank you, Lord, for this man paying the bill. Okay, I'm a swipe. But what I'm going to do is make sure that what I done swiped is paid my balances. I know that at the end of every month when my cycles are looked at, I need to make sure that I don't use any more than $2,000. That's my number. My number is what's going to be reported to the credit bureau is no more than $2,000 worth of debt. Okay, so that doesn't mean I'm not swiping. That means that when my statement is about to close, before they go and tattletale on me, I'm paying my balances down. Okay, but the more you use of your actual credit, of your actual available credit, the more you use is the less you're getting from that point matrix. So that point matrix is 160 plus points. If you're at over the limit, if you're at 50%, you're not getting the full 160, right? Which is what you want to have. So when you're looking at your overall picture, you don't want to keep yourself stagnant. And that's why I always have my coaching call going over, okay, this is what I look at all the credit cards and I literally tell them, you have this card, this card, this card, this card. Your total available limit is this amount. This is your credit limit across the board. If they have one like this one that's over the limit, I'm talking to them about you're paying the minimum payment times 2 plus $4, right? I'm having that conversation with them because once they pay that amount, when they then charge the interest rate again, right, on that statement, it's not going to send them back over their limit. But these are dialogues that they need to understand as to how it's affecting them in each area. So to your point, if I was to look at my client like this one, she has no credit cards. Well, 55% of 55 points is equal 10%, is equals 55 points, is you having mixed credit. So you need to have installments and you need to have revolving. So if my client doesn't have an open and active credit card, we're now having a conversation as to what cards can you get. Are we going to do a secured card? What are we going to do to get you that extra 55 points, right? Or if you don't have any installment loans, where are we going to go? Because that's 55 points that's out of the bucket. I'm having those conversations in those spaces. So when you're looking at your profile, if all the accounts you have are paid off and closed, you are leaving points on the table. And you're not going to be able to make those until you get the items you need in order for those to be calculated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that
Great
makes sense.
question. Great. My pleasure. Now, again, these all in sections now, girl. Now, don't you focus on just one now. You got to look at everything. Okay, got to look at everything. Welcome to church. Okay, so the system will automatically select it. Now, let's say I've been doing credit repair for 19 years, right? So I have formulated letters that I've used before, and I'm like, I know this letter works for Crane and Weiner, which is Progressive. Okay, that's the collection agency for Progressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my letter in here. Dear Big Head, take this off. Okay, so let's just say it was a real letter. Y'all know this ain't the letter, but let's say this was a real letter. I can choose to save it. And that way, every single time I see a Crane and Weiner, the system will automatically print my letter that has worked before instead of the letters that we would pick for all of the other accounts. You would actually hit use template, and this is how you know your particular sequence letter is here. If you change your mind, you're like, you know what, I'm just going to do my letter round 2. I'm going to let the system do letter round 1. You just hit remove, you're good to go. Okay. Now, once you guys got all of the sections checked off, you're going to hit save filter. And now you're at the place of the attack. Remember, I started out in the beginning saying the software doesn't just give you a software that's really cute, really interactive, really pretty, 24-hour customer service. They give you a flow. Come on, somebody. So the flow tells you that you're going to use Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted. If you have the Pro, you can select the creditor letters, and it gives you the letters to send to the third party, the secondary bureaus, such as LexisNexis, Novus, LCI, and so on. It tells you, should you send this letter as handwritten or stationary? And then it tells you that all these letters, which I love, are first class letters. They do not have to be in color, but they are supposed to be on single-sided. They are supposed to be on single-sided, and the attack day sequence. So month 1 is on day 1, month 2 is on day 35, so on and so forth. So you have 12 months of free proven attack flows for you to start. Once you get a little bit more seasoned, okay, you can go ahead and say, I'm going to use my flow because I like this letter. I tried this letter and it was working for me. The letters give you a breakdown of how much, like if it has any caps, for instance, the pinwheel attack can only do 7 negative items and 10 inquiries per letter. The round kit can only do 5 accounts and 9 inquiries. So if you have a client or you are a person that have a lot of inquiries, you know that it's only going to be 10 per letter or 9 per letter. All right, but we're doing the Punch of Fury. We're going to do handwritten. If you had the pro, you would just click this button. It would generate the letters for the creditors. Okay. And you're going to do Punch of Fury. Oh, I think she left. I think Gabriella left. All right. But what you would do here is you would just go ahead and hit start round. You would type confirm. And then the round will generate for you. Now to do the static letters, because the static letters can still be done even when you're on the free platform, you click back on handwritten. I like to scroll down all the way to the bottom. I click on Factor Trust, Microbill, Data, Clarity, Credco, ARS, LCI, Innovis, LexisNexis. As long as you have money in your bucket, you can print this for free. And it will say, if you guys have pro, it will say attack, creditor, static. If you guys have the standard, it will say attack. And then the next thing would be static letters that you can print out and send off for your profile. All right. Now, once we have done that, the letter that I was telling the young lady about earlier, because TransUnion or Experian or one of them decided that they stated that they didn't know it was her, I would scroll down to the static letters. You will select the credit bureau. You'd put the date that you sent out your original round of disputes. If you have the pro, you would just put it in this additional document and you would just hit start round and it will print off each one of those letters with the star letter attached to it. Okay.
I have some questions there. Sorry.
Yeah. No. What questions do you have, Mella?
Okay, so the other day I noticed I did the pinwheel attack. It was a round 2, and it printed. I opened up the file. I did the handwritten one for the first time, and I saw that there was a lot of different versions for the same bureau, like 3 or 4. So it's a little confusing because when I went to go mail it out, it had like 15, 20 different things to mail out. So I don't know if it was having me send out more documents that it was actually came out of the zip file. But like, why would is it because it's a pinwheel attack that it had multiple letters for each bureau for the same bureau?
Every attack has multiple letters for each bureau. So let me show you.
Okay.
Over here,
Yes.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different letters for the TransUnion. So every attack, at minimum, the least I've ever seen for a client was 2 letters per bureau.
Okay, and handwritten versus normal. I mean, what's the biggest advantage with it?
So what I think is that it makes it not be the same as everyone else's letter.
Correct. Okay.
So sometimes when the people get it, they'll pay attention to it and use it a little bit more. Understand that there's no one particular tactic that works. We've just found that handwritten letters also get some resolve and some movement when you're working with the client file. So that's why we input that option in different stages. So if you're, I know, like, I still use the old flow that the system had, but even with those clients with the old flow, because I still do the red attack sometimes, I still switch it. Like the first round, I'll do the pinwheel with the handwritten, and then I won't do handwritten again until round 3.
Okay, and then the creditor ones, you just send them out at the same time as well?
I send everything out at one time.
Okay, okay.
You got it.
Also, that training that you're looking at right there, that PDF, where do you find that? Because I saw the other one, but not this one.
If you click on the training tab now,
okay,
this new flow is what's available in the training tab.
Got it. Okay, okay.
So you can still keep the old one now. We seasoned, okay? And I like my old one because I still do my paralyzed attack, okay? Like I still do my paralyzed attack, but the new one is effective and it is efficient. It has been beta tested and approved.
Okay, and then sorry, one more. I don't want
No, you're fine.
to freeze like the snitches and all that on the first round, right? Before you go active, like LexisNexis and all these other ones. Do you just send out those static letters right there that you were showing?
The static letters do not request a freeze. So we, in this software, we do not do the freeze. I have to be honest with you. I used to do the freeze all the time. Now I only freeze for the ones that I have conversations with and I know that they won't stop applying for stuff. that's when I'll freeze their profile. While I do that, but I have the conversation with them, of course, like, hey, we're going to freeze it because I want to make sure we're reducing your inquiries, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But this flow does not require you to stop the freezing, especially considering the fact that a lot of the third-party companies are now owned by.
Oh, they're owning by the bureaus. Okay.
So it's kind of like, what we really freezing? That's like your sister. You ain't gonna talk to your sister. Well, my son and my daughter is not talking to each other right now. That's probably gonna last 3 days. Okay, let's see. Gonna last 3 days. But yeah, that goes. Miss Clay says she used the old flow too. I do. Any other questions you got for me, my love?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome sauce. Okay. So we are going to close this out. All right. And then the history tab, you can see what letters have already been printed, the credit scores, the credit report, and the credit scores. So as they grow, you're able to see it. If you have the pro, there will be a button right here after history that will say updates. And that's where you get the same reports that you see on the main screen on this file, so you can share. The invoice tab, of course, you can see the invoices and any notes that you might want to send out. I use the note tab, like, let's say I had, for this particular client, let's say I went in and I generated a bankruptcy letter to go to the bankruptcy court. So I went to the static letters. I went to bankruptcy court, I selected it, and then I filled in the information as to where the letter is supposed to go. Right. So now I have what I need in order to make sure that the profile goes out accordingly. Right. So this is just, when I did that to this particular client, I would have put it in the notes so that I remember to follow up with her to ask her specifically about the bankruptcy. Like, hey, did you get a document back from the court? What does it say? And be able to keep the flow. But we have literally just finished a full round of attack, loaded a client in, and been able to dip and do with the platform together. What questions, concerns, or comments do you have?
On the credit, when you bring in the credit report, I had a situation yesterday where I noticed there was a student loan with some late payments on the client's account, and when I did it with Credit Dino, it didn't show it. But then when I brought it in with Smart Credit or Identity IQ, it did show it.
So when you say show it, I want us to be clear on what the difference is. So I'm going to bring back up my screen because for this client, it also did not include it, and I want to make sure that everyone's understanding why. So hang on one second. So under the Disputing tab, when you scroll down, this person under the account tab has a Department of Education.
Okay.
When you click on the inquiry and you click on payment history, it shows 94%.
Okay.
Okay.
Highlighted. Yeah. Okay.
It is not highlighted because this late payment is not affecting the client score right now. Okay, and because your late payments are only impacting you 24 months from when you received it. So this last late payment was in May of 2018.
Got it. Okay.
It is outside of that 24-month window. So there's no reason for us to actively dispute it because she's not losing any points off of this or anything because it's outside of that bracket. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's not that it won't show. It will show on the system. It just won't include it if it's not giving the client any issues as far as the scoring calculation goes.
Okay.
Okay. So that would not be something I would harass. However, you see this one over here. Okay, this payment history is impacting her because she has late payments within that 24-month window. So this is going to be automatically selected specifically because it's impacting her credit score in real time.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Great question. Great question.
I've had like 20 of them that I've been hanging on to because I keep missing the live trainings. And I'm glad I got on here that I could ask some of these.
I'm so excited. That's right. Come on back. Come on back. So I am excited. I did get a couple of people and you guys have gotten some. Wait, Miss Clay, did you get your freebie from the sign up? I want to make sure you got your freebies.
What freebies?
On the thank you page is a freebie for you to download for before class. So you didn't get the freebies?
No, I haven't.
You didn't get the thank you page?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna resend it to you. I'm gonna
No.
resend it to you
All right.
so you can have it, okay?
Thank you. I
My
appreciate it.
pleasure. Yeah, I like free stuff. I like to give away coupons. Not me, just coupons. But yeah, we're gonna have the class, the goal for the class. So if you guys are new in the system, are trying to figure out how to stop stall letters from happening from the beginning, we actually, that's one of the freebies that are there once you lock in for the class. So I did go ahead and drop the class information for the 3rd. It's going to be a Saturday. We are going to go over other things like the secondary bureaus, what does it look like, and we're going to cover where are all your information housed. So you're not just going to come in with just tactics, you're going to leave with the organized workflow. You're going to have a great understanding of how Credit Dyno, Dispute Panda, the software works to get you where you need to be for your client. So the first class is going to be February 3rd at 1:00. If you guys would like to be in attendance, again, I do have freebies going out as soon as you sign up and register for the class. I did drop the link for the class in the chat. And I just am so excited to be able to make sure that everyone kind of has a cohesive plan. So once you leave the class, you will not just have an understanding of the Dispute Panda workflow in detail, you will actually have an understanding on how to aggressively attack when it comes to the bankruptcy and the repo to take it a little bit step further if you're ready for it. So I'm super duper excited. Any other questions, concerns, comments, caveats for the church? Because if not, we're gonna have some church announcements.
One more thing, the identity IQ today, I had somebody as well. I went to go ahead and log in, and when I went to log in, it gave me like a on that import page where you upload the ID and everything, it gave me like a white circle with a slash through it. And when I went to click update, it wouldn't do it. I went ahead and logged
Wait,
in.
are you talking about for Identity IQ or for Credit Dyno?
No, on okay, so they didn't have Credit Dyno, they had Identity IQ, so I put in their info there to import the information, and when I went to import it or do the update, it wouldn't let me, and it showed me like a white symbol with circle with a slash through it.
So the one-click import only applies to Credit Dyno.
Okay, so how would I have just imported it without, I mean, if it was a client that had that?
So you would have to log into the actual credit monitoring site for Identity IQ for your client.
Okay.
You'd have to download the report and then upload it into the file.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So the one-click import is only applicable to Credit Dyno clients. That's it. Any other credit monitoring software that you have to go get the file and bring it back in here to import it. So when it comes to Smart Credit, there's a different importing feature, and there's a video in the training tab on that. But when it comes to Identity IQ and MyScore IQ, you have to download the file and then upload it on the upload tab.
Yeah, I've done that one before. Okay.
Yep, that's what you're gonna do again.
All right.
On the quick question.
Yes.
I heard you talk about the payment history, the 35% and the credit utilization at 30%, and the 15%. What is the 15%?
The 15% is age, and that's 87 points. And then the last two are 10% each, and that's both worth 55 points, and that's credit mix, and then your inquiries. Those two are both 10% each.
Okay.
Great question. Any other questions, guys?
I have a question, if you can hear me.
I can hear somebody. Go ahead. Come on. What you talking about? What
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, she hit me. So my question is, as far as the basics, because I'm pretty much not used to the software itself. So my question is, how can I start with the basic as far as wiping clean, or the best method to clean up my inquiries?
So I'm going to have this wonderful conversation with you. Is the inquiries the only thing that you're concerned about?
It's
Because
absolutely
again,
not.
that's only worth 55 points. So you're telling me on your whole credit profile, your only level of concern is your inquiries.
It's not, but it's one of the easiest things to attack right now with my understanding of this software.
So let me be clear. The letters that go out attack every negative file that's on your profile. So you don't do anything extra. If you come in here and you follow the flow, so let me go back to sharing my screen. Hold on one second. Okay, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so if you come in here and the system is automatically going to select any public records that are affecting your credit score and any accounts that are automatically affecting your credit score. You have to physically go in and select the accounts that have the inquiries that are not attached to an open and active account. Once you've done that, you hit save. So you don't have to select the accounts. The system is already going to do it for you. Once you hit the save filter, the accounts, the inquiries, any of that information, including your personal information letter, your personal information is also going to be included on every single letter. So if you're asking what's the best method, go to the training, click the free download for the actual guide and work the guide. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. The only manual portion that you physically have to do is the inquiry part. That is it. The system does everything else for you.
Okay.
Great question. Great question. Yeah, you don't have to be overwhelmed. Like literally the system does everything for you. So if you're coming in and you're like, hey, I just want to know how to attack my inquiries, the reality is the letters that are generated is going to automatically pull any negative accounts that's giving you a problem. So if it's in charge-off status, if it's in collection status, if it shows write-off, right? All of that information is still going to be included in every letter that you select. Now, if you're looking for a workflow, we've already given you one. So all you have to do is pick the letter that is corresponding on file in the variation that we tell you to. And that's the basic way of working it. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
My pleasure, darling, and welcome. Now go ahead and do your first letter and then come on back next week.
Coming back.
Come on back next week and tell me how it went for you. Can you schedule a one-on-one? Yes, you can schedule a one-on-one with me. I will drop my link in the chat for you guys to have. And we're having our first masterclass on the 3rd. And I dropped that link there. Now, where am I booking? Please hold.
How much do you charge for one-on-ones?
125, I think. Hold on, I don't know. I don't want to lie to y'all. Hold on. I don't know.
No, it ain't free.
No, not the one-on-one. Hold on. Dispute Panda. Oh, it's actually 97 right now. It is 97. So hold on, let me make sure. Panda review. And the masterclass is normally $497. We are doing it for $97 as well. So if you guys want to come into the masterclass, you guys are going to be going over how we can handle bankruptcies more effectively. We're going to be talking about charge off. You're going to leave with the most effective flow in conjunction with what is going on with Dispute Panda. So it's not going to be separate. It's going to be what you're going to be able to do together. You are going to basically be able to pick my brain because we are going to have an extra VIP hour where you guys can come in and ask any questions that you need, that you kind of just like, hey, this has nothing to do with the system. I just want to know how I can do this. So on the masterclass, not only are you going to be getting so many freebies, so much information that you can talk about, we are going to leave with a clear plan of attack for your files. And if you guys want one-on-one, there is my booking link. I would be so happy to go ahead and support you guys in real time. Hey, Ms. Bryant, welcome to the room. Welcome, Royalty.
Well, I got a question. How long does that last for us to be able to sign up for that class? At
the master class, For the 97, that's going to be the price for all the people in Dispute Panda. The price is going to go up for anyone outside of it.
Okay.
Sure. The replay is in the community, which we're correcting right now. And on the YouTube channel, I'll get David and JM to drop the YouTube channel in the chat for you guys to go ahead and catch the replay. But thank you for pulling up on us, my love. How you doing? Did you eat? If not, go get something. Okay? Don't you be out here hungry. Don't you be out here hungry. All right? I'm thick for a reason. It's because I like to eat. All right now. Let's see what else we got going on here. So yeah, I don't want anyone to be alarmed. I don't want anyone to feel like you're not able to get the answers that you need to be successful. Thank you, Underdog Studios. I appreciate you. I didn't even see you up in here now. Welcome. Realistically, the system is made for you to win. So if you're wanting to do the bare minimums, even if you don't have the Dispute Panda Pro, come into the system, still do the Punch of Fury, still do the Supreme Boosted, and I'm going to show you. It's simple. Once you save the profile, you're going to go to Start Round of Attack. You're going to do Punch of Fury. You're going to do Handwritten, Supreme Boosted, and you hit Start Round, and it's going to generate it for you. So even if you don't have the Pro, so no, the letters will not generate for the creditors, you still can be a beast in the street on the basic level, okay? Okay, Miss Brittany said that she's gonna be leaving right now and she'll be back this week. And also, obviously, I'm so glad you come to my class, y'all, because we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. So you need to go ahead, come on, bring your books. Hey, Royalty, how can I help?
Hello, how you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored, and I ate some chicken. How you feeling?
I'm good. I had a question I wanted to know. I've been having a little problem with my charge off, and it's illegally on my credit report for a few different reasons. But I'm trying to figure out. They sent me a letter basically saying it's verified. I never sent nothing to the secondary bureaus, but first of all, the first question I wanted to ask was, as far as the secondary bureaus, is it like definitely mandatory in your opinion, especially when going through the with Dispute Panda? And the second question I was gonna ask you was, do you think I should go with a method of verification? Is my next step.
Great questions. Let me start from the top. Are you using the new flow or are you using the old flow?
I started with the older flow.
Okay, that's cool. Follow-up question. With you utilizing the old flow, what month are you in? Like, where's your sequence?
I was mixing it up, so I was kind of like, I think the second or third, kind of, but I was going back and forth with some other letters, like, because I was trying to specify some things, and I came with some laws, and I didn't really know how to do it. Insert that into Dispute Panda, so I made some other letters. You get what I'm saying?
Boom. So okay, so I want to make sure you're only sending off the letters every 30 days, correct? Every 35 days.
Right.
Okay. Because one of the things you need to know, my love, is what month you're on. Because depending on what month you're on, is going to be my level of security. Like, I would be more concerned about this charge off if we were at month 6, 7 versus you being on month 1, 2, 3, right? Like, they haven't flexed enough. You haven't really done enough for it to be something that I would be gravely concerned about. Secondly, when you are talking about you created some letters yourself, remember that you can come into the system, whether you're on the free or the paid version. You go to the account that you're wanting to use the verbiage for, and you can literally plug in the letter that you're wanting by clicking on the add a custom message. What will end up happening is whatever you type in here, it will automatically be printed versus the standard flow, whether you're using the old attack or the new attack.
So will it mix it with that whatever you type in, or
no,
will it?
It will
Okay,
only
just
print
make
out
that
what you are right. So if you wanted to say that, like for instance, I have a So for charge-offs over $600, I have a 1099 letter. My round 4 sends off that 1099 letter to the creditor, right?
And I heard,
But that is
oh,
go
my
ahead.
fault, my fault. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, what you heard?
No, I was gonna say I was gonna go try to go that route about the 1099, but mine the charge off is actually under 600. That's why I didn't go that route.
I still do
That's
it.
why
I still do it. Yeah, still do it.
it.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
got to
okay.
flow, still do it. Because the question is how, like, I still need to know what you did with the debt. Like, did you write it off? Was it a write-off that says that you're not going to collect it? And that's something that I cover in the class, that we go over the 1099 and what you're going to do with it, right? So I'm not trying to be funny, but if you're in round 3, I'm not concerned. You doing the dance.
Right.
You got to think about how you courting the chick, right? Like you got to buy me more than one thing. How I know you like me if you only bought me something for 3 months? Like,
right.
Come back around. I need some flowers. I need some candy. Don't buy me no bundles because I don't need that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But come
No, I get
around,
you,
talk
man.
to me nice. You know what I mean? Think about it from that perspective, that you're kind of really in the beginning of a courtship and trying to find out what's going on. One of the things that I personally like about the pro is that not trying to be funny, but the credit bureau sometimes is full of poo-poo caca, right? And if I'm sending the letters to the creditors themselves, oh no, Miss Bryan said, girl, you need a bundle. It costs $800. Nah, child, my sister sells raw hair, so I get it for the low. And I actually got here and I like to cut it off, and I'm on punishment right now, so I can't cut my hair right now. But no, for real, back to what I was saying to you. When we're talking about going through the process and knowing how they deny, and not only that, some people will call up the credit bureau and they'll be like, oh, there was no information about this particular creditor that was submitted. Lies and Pharisees, right? So having the pro gives you the ability to send the letters to the creditors themselves, and they have an obligation to respond. So a lot of times what people are not aware of is the internal system has a software called eOscar. And just like I said earlier, a lot of those secondary bureaus are owned by the actual credit bureau. Let's take it a bit further when you're asking me how important secondary bureaus are. During the class, I'm going to be taking y'all to the secondary bureaus that holds your evictions, that holds your bankruptcies, that holds your repos. It's not just the credit bureau that holds that information. So when everyone is thinking that they're getting a denial because of what's on their credit report, a lot of times you're getting a denial because that secondary company that most companies use, LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, there are 14 different places that hold your bankruptcy. There's 7 different places off the top of my head that I can think of that holds your rental information. So this is not just one place. So you get evicted and you're thinking, oh, well, the eviction's not on my credit report, but is it on Rent Row? You know what I'm saying? Like the secondary bureaus are important because we need to know what's on them. We need to know the meat and the potatoes as to what is really going on and should this be on here or not. You follow what I'm saying? So you don't want to just, to me, I feel like if you only dispute with the credit bureau, you're fighting with one hand tied behind your back. And I remember when Tiffany followed me home, y'all. Okay, I'm about to tell y'all my business. I was in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn. Okay, but I'm in Texas now. But let me tell you what happened. This girl named Tiffany, okay? She followed me home, 5th grade. Never forget this day. Tiffany and me are friends, by the way, on Facebook. Hey, boo, hey. But Tiffany followed me all the way home, okay? And she wanted to fight. I didn't want to fight. I was like, Tiffany, don't come on my block, because if you come on my block, I'm going to have to fight you, Tiffany. Don't come on my block. Why? Because my mama said, don't let nobody do nothing to you on your block, right? So Tiffany followed me all the way to the block, y'all. So I had to fight Tiffany. Because she was on my block. Plus, I had a crush on Georgie Porgy that used to live on the end of the block, and that was the way we came. So I wasn't scared. Okay, I was really scared, y'all. I was terrified. But I beat up Tiffany. One girl gonna pull my arm from behind my back and talk about try to fight her now. Who fights like this? nobody. That's what you do when you decide to only dispute with the credit bureau. You have one hand behind your back and you trying to swing and land hits. I turned around, slapped that girl, and then I went ahead and I beat up Tiffany. Okay, we friends now. We friends now. Don't worry about it. We grown. I'm 40-something. I done been to her house. She done been to mine. Okay, don't worry about it. We good now. We good now. It was one little fight. Okay, but you got to know how to fight properly, right? And using and leveraging the secondary bureaus is a must if you're looking to achieve a goal, because they're holding on to your information. So even if you dispute it with the credit bureaus, friend, all they're going to do is re-report that information when they update your secondary file. So you can't, you don't want to leave yourself exposed and not covered in its totality. So yeah, the class is going to cover a lot of the secondary bureaus that are not just named here, but we're going to go to where you can find them. We're going to go into different strategies of the call. So I cannot wait for the ones who have already signed up and for everyone else that's coming on. So I'm closing down the registration on, I think, the 1st of February. So anyone that wants to get in, come on in. Let's get into it, because I want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. I know Miss Clay, Miss Clay was like, I'm coming. I can't wait to see you there. But yes, I think of credit, like I think of credit repair as me getting into a fight and my client is already handicapped, right? They already tied their hand. They don't have the knowledge of how these points are calculated to help them. They're already at a disadvantage. My job is to feed them the knowledge that they need to be successful, untie their hand so that now they understand that there's a dance that they're doing with the creditors, and then there's a dance that they're doing with the credit bureau. And they need to know that they cha-cha sliding over here, okay? But over here, they're waltzing. And how does that look for that particular client and what their goals are? So if your goal is a house, your goal is a car, we're doing different dances depending on what section you're in, okay? I hope that made sense, because I be over here analyzing the analyzation. Okay, I want to make sure that y'all with me. I feel like I want to be the female bust around. Y'all know him, right? Not the new one. I want to be the one with the dreads. Okay, don't worry about it. We were supposed to be married. He just didn't know about me back in the day. Y'all don't gotta worry about that. But in my mind, I be talking like bust around. My analogies be analogizing. Okay, all right. Any
Thank
other
you, though.
questions, guys? What you said?
I said thank you, though.
It is my pleasure. So don't sleep on the secondary bureaus. Send your stuff. And hey, since you're switching back and forth, what's your tracking look like?
What you mean tracking?
Oh,
Like
so
as far,
you playing. You playing.
yeah, I don't know.
You playing. Okay, so here's what I need you to do. I know I'm not your coach. I'm just here helping. I'm the coach of the hour, okay? I need you every single time that you send a letter out. I want you to go back to the first round of letters you did. I need you to track what you got deleted, what you got removed, what's been updated, how many. Not only that, put the account information in there. And I want you to, whether you do that on a Google Doc or a worksheet, or hey, get pen and paper like we old school, you feel me? And write it down so that you can see, okay, this is what I got deleted month 1. This is what I got deleted month 2. This is what I got deleted month 3. If you're not following a flow that we already tested and you're doing the back and forth, you're not going to know how successful you're being and what you've been removed. And also a lot of times what I've heard when I've been on these calls is that people are looking for one specific thing to be removed. You cannot get pigeonholed into that scenario. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if that one particular thing, because I've had clients where they've gone through my program, they've done 6 months, they've done 12 months, they've done 18 months. And that one particular account that they wanted is not off, but everything else we were able to clear up. And we're now having a conversation about what accounts can we get them that this particular issue is not going to be a problem. With you clearly saying this charge off shouldn't be here, it's kind of illegal, there's a problem with it. Now we have to think about how can we outside of the box get rid of that particular issue. What do we need to do once you've gone past the 6 months or once you've gotten to the 12 months? If that charge off is still there, what options have you tried? What results have you gotten? Send that 1099 request letter off, but then write down what did you get back so that you can then, whether you come to me or you go to another coach, you can say, hey, I did this, I scrambled the eggs, I boiled the eggs, I threw the eggs at the wall. What do I do now? And then we can educate you and look at your whole file and say, big bro, this is not even something for you to be concerned about. Let me tell you what you can do. Or we can tell you, okay, this is the method that has been so successful in cases like this. Or even if that vendor is someone that we know and we've used, we can tell you a strategy for you to leverage with that. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Yeah. So right now, what eggs you scrambled, boiled, fricasseed, all that stuff. So with what you've already done. And then if you want to book a call, then book a call so that I know what you've already successfully completed. And then we can run different plays. Make sense?
All right, thank you. Thank
My
you. I definitely
pleasure.
make sense.
My pleasure. And it's not big versus little, is that in my mind, I'm still 15 and Buster is still young enough that he could throw me over his shoulder. He probably could throw me over his shoulder now because I done lost a couple pounds. But he got a good old wife now. But back in the day, he was single, so he was mad. Okay. So it's not big or little. He was single back in the day. Now he got a woman. So I can't take no Buster Rhymes. Mr. Williams, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, I wanted to ask just a quick question on, I think I've seen a couple of people, well, I know a couple of people asked me about how do you fix something on their credit if they have a charge from an insurance company, like they didn't pay for a couple of months. So I was like, if you don't have insurance, if you don't pay your insurance every month, obviously they cancel it. But so they say they got a bill from debt collector that the insurance company sold, and they owe 2 months.
You would still follow the work plan flow. So you would still pick, so the updated flow that's in there works. If you have the old school flow, because I don't know when you've been there, but the old school flow is the red flow, either the red or the blue. I've used either one to assist clients when it pertains to that. But again, you're still sending out the letters, you're having the conversation. I like to be transparent and I have a conversation to them about settlement options as well, because there's going to be a point once you validated the debt is there, there's no errors, there's nothing. And I'm going to be honest with you. In order for you to get something off of the credit report, it has to be an error. There has to be something wrong. That something was reported incorrectly, outdated, erroneous, something that qualifies for that particular item to be removed, or the creditor did not do their due diligence that's required in order for that account to then get removed from the profile. If I've done all that I can do and that profile is still there, the conversation that we're moving into is settlements. That's what our conversation is going to be. What are we going to talk about? How we're going to settle this debt? And is this something that's impacting them gravely for us to have that level of conversation? But if this client is at round one, you're following the flow. You're working the flow. Does that make sense? But there's no individualized tactic when it comes to insurance. What I will tell you, and this is just for me because I work in the insurance industry, you can have your client also pull their clue report and support them to see what's on that report as well. But for to your point, if they didn't pay, they're going to go to collections, but you can go ahead and use the same flow to help them with that particular profile. Great question. I love it.
I have one real quick. If by any chance you do a flow, let's say you're like on round 2 or 3, and it's been more than 40 days and you forgot to respond, carry on with the next flow. Do you just pick up where you left off, or do you start all over again? Let's
So
say you.
I'm a 45-day company.
Okay.
So let's be clear. You are not out of sequence unless you are more than 60 days out from when the credit bureau when you sent your last letter. If you're
Okay.
outside of that 60-day window, I would recommend, so if you're at like 90 days, I would be like, go ahead and start back from the beginning, right?
Okay.
However, I'm a 45-day company. So I personally, for my clients, I fax. And if you're in the VIP, I upload, but I fax, I mail, and I upload depending on what package you get from me, right?
Okay.
With me faxing, a lot of times, if the faxes go through for all 3 credit bureaus, then I will go ahead and count day 1 as the day that I fax. If it does not go through, then I'm allowing my letter to be mailed. It takes 5 days roughly for them to get it. They need to have 30 days to process and then 5 days for my client to get the letters back.
Okay.
Right? So for me, my SOP is I don't send out a round of letters until we're at that 45-day mark so that all the mails can come in, especially the secondary bureaus, all of those things. And then we can have a full, robust conversation. And then I send out the next round of letters. But theoretically, you don't have an issue until you're outside of that 60 days.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Great question. Come on. Yes, Mr. Gonzalez. Come on. Mr. Anthony in here asking fiery questions. I love it. I love it. Any other questions? Because I know I done had y'all time. For those of you guys that may have come in late, please check us out on the YouTube. When I talked about that fight with my friend, she my friend now. Her husband nice and everything. She got some cute kids. Thank you. Thank you so much, Underdog Studios. I am here to help. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can definitely hit me up. I do have one-on-one sessions. I have the masterclass coming up on the 3rd. I'm so looking forward to covering a whole plethora of details. And Miss Clay, I will make sure to get out to you your freebie tonight to make sure that you have it so you can download it in real time. And that way you can watch my amazing video, okay? Because I have a video of everything just for you, okay? So other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for coming in, dipping and doing with me. I really appreciate you guys giving me your Monday. Don't forget, we're back here on Wednesday. So if you have any additional questions, we are here on Wednesday. And for our pro team, we are here on Thursdays going over pro features and getting into it there. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you guys can definitely hit me up. And I do any freebie links available. What you mean, Mr. Anthony? What freebie links you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. You kept saying like a freebie email or something. I never saw anything like that.
Oh no, that was for the people who signed up for my masterclass because Miss Clay mentioned that she signed up and I wanted to make sure she got her free download for signing up, and she said she didn't. So I'm about to send it to her right now. So
got it. Okay, thank you. All right.
My pleasure. But yeah, if I find anything free, I try to give it away. Okay. Loom, I gave that away earlier today, so y'all can definitely use the Loom. Other than that, that's all I have, guys. I want to say thank you so much for coming in. Let me see. Is the 45 days from when you sent the last round or when you received a reply? 45 days from when I send out my rounds of letters. So because remember, it's 5 days for it to get there by mail. We have to give the credit bureau 30 days to work the file. If you send a letter too early, if you send a letter too early, what will end up happening is you'll get another, you have to give the credit bureau another 15 days. So that's why I do 5 days for it to get there, 30 days for them to process, 5 days for it to get back. And you know, my clients most of the time don't open their mail, honey, or their email. So I give them a couple more days, and I have email sequence that goes out to them day 1, 7, 14, and 21. So that they know to look out for what's going on. And then I ping them the day that I'm working on their file. It's my pleasure, Elizabeth. The masterclass, what free downloads do you get for signing up for the masterclass? You will have to sign up for the masterclass to see the freebies. But the masterclass is normally $497. It's actually right now $97 for everyone that's in Dispute Panda. And we are going to dive into settlements. We're going to dive into bankruptcy. We're going to dive into repo. And we are going to have a full, robust conversation about how all those things are handled in sequence. And then if you guys have any additional questions, you'll have access to that. One of the freebies that I'm thinking about giving away is how to read a credit report. Y'all can tell me if y'all think that's a good idea to give away as a freebie, because I think sometimes people are not fully clear on how to read the credit report, and it can cause isms and schisms. So let me know if you think that's a good idea to give away from the freebie, because I want to give away one freebie the day before the class that I know is going to be potent. You think that's a good idea? All right, Miss Clay, come on, somebody. But no, it is my pleasure to be able to help and support you guys. I believe in being an acts of service, and I personally love using Dispute Panda. I love the results that I've gotten. It has been very impactful for me. Like, I showed y'all my numbers at the beginning of the class. I literally had one client who was going to quit today, and I sent her numbers, and she was like, I'm paying you for my rounds that you just did. I'm so sorry, that I hadn't paid, because for her, she felt like she wasn't getting any results, but it's a partnership. And once she implemented, and again, I reiterate the conversation that we had about her specific goals, and not only her numbers went up, but her husband's number went up 150 points as well. So I was able to go ahead and give them those updates and really show them, like, I want you to win 1000%. And even if it's not with me, I want you to leave with the knowledge to be better than how you came into this space. That's literally what I want to do in every single room I go in, is to leave value and know that I matter and you matter. And because of that, we matter together as a unit. So I really appreciate you guys. Anthony, it's been amazing. I love your questions. I'll be back on Wednesday. Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming. And I love seeing new faces. Mr. Williams, Deuce got fades. I think that's what that says. Miss Clay, as always, Skyway Nation, welcome, welcome. And I hope to see Royalty, Anthony, and Underdog Studios again. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes my kids don't listen, so I feel like I don't speak where they can comprehend because they need a whoop. No, but thank you guys so much for coming. If you guys need to watch the replay, it is available on the YouTube. Miss Elizabeth, thank you for giving us that tip. Our back office is working on making sure that that glitch no longer happens. You were the real MVP on today. Any other questions that you guys have for me?
Thank you. No, it's been great. Thank you so much for all your knowledge and your content.
Anytime. Y'all be blessed. I will see y'all on the flip side.
Bye.